want to give us an advance notice on who's coming in for Joe?
Yeah, we'll probably we trained Jack Payne up over the pre-season to play forward as well as back, so he's been in good form lately, so we'll give him an opportunity tomorrow night. He's earned it.
He got the run in the semi-final last year. Obviously, didn't get to see the whole game out, unfortunately.
No, not much of it at all.
You think he's progressed from that stage?
Yeah, he's 23 years of age now. He's been around the club for a while. He's had his injury setbacks at different times, but we've seen a growth in his maturity as a footballer in the last little while, and as a lot of the boys in the reserves have been in good form, so it's good to be able to reward them with a spot in the AFL team and an opportunity.
Is that how you'll go forward, Fags, or is it sort of match by match or opponent by opponent?
I sort of only thought about it this week. To be honest, I haven't thought beyond Saturday's game, so it's sort of difficult for me to answer that question. If he plays well, then it just sort of it fixes itself, doesn't it?
Just to get some clarity on Eric, you said that he'll play next week.
Yeah, he's available to play next week.
No VFL.
I haven't made that decision yet, but he's available to play, and he's fit enough to play at whatever level we decide. Just got to work out whether it's better for him to have a bit of a hit out and gather some confidence in the twos, or whether we just thrust him back into the AFL team. But he's physically right to go for AFL. It's just making that call.
It's a good luxury when you lose a guy like Joe to have Eric coming back at a similar-ish time. Obviously not this week, but during this period where if you lose that.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it's good to have him back and available. No doubt about that. We would find a way to deal with Joey not playing anyway, as we did last week. I mean, Cam Rayner was able to go and play forward, which we know he can do. With guys like him back in the team, as in Cam, that does help with that issue, because he can play as third tall forward if we need him to.
Fullerton has come in a couple of times when you've had a tall go down.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him this season, and why didn't he get the opportunity this time?
Yeah, probably because Jack was just in a little bit better form than him. That's what you look at when you're selecting your team. He wasn't too far off the mark, Tommy. It was obviously a discussion that we had, but we decided to go with Jack. But we know that Tom can, he as well. He practiced not only as a forward but as a defender over the pre-season. So he's got a little bit of form both ends of the ground, and we know we can call on him.
How difficult has it been to prepare for West Coast this week, considering all the flux their team seems to be in?
Yeah, I suppose it's been a week where we haven't ignored our opposition, because we respect West Coast Eagles and we think they're a terrific team, and they're having some hardship at the moment, but we've basically focused on ourselves, and probably for the first time in my coaching career, the players have had a big input into the planning for this game. They're sort of owning it. Very much looking forward to tomorrow night to see how their plans work. And I'm not being flippant about that game when I do this. I see that as a real opportunity for our guys to develop. I know in my time at Hawthorn, the leadership group that we had there were very much capable of organising the game and the tactics that we would use. So this week we've used it as that sort of opportunity, and the players have got really good ownership over it. So hopefully, tomorrow night, if we can play well, I can give them the credit post-game.
What was the impetus for that? Sorry, what was the impetus? Was it you wanted to give them an opportunity, or did they come to you and say that they wanted to do that?
It was more me. I think it's part of their growth. And if you work in a football club, sometimes you go in and do the same old meeting every week and talk about what you're going to do in the game. And I just thought it was a good opportunity this week for the players to take a little bit of ownership over that and do something different. You always sort of need a different stimulus from time to time. So we went down that pathway this week.
So, Chris, how does that work? Like, do they run the meetings, or what's the?
We still facilitate them and help them with the organisation, ask the right questions that they need to get together and work out the answers to. It's pretty much around that line. It's not like total handover. Go work it out, boys. It's a partnership between coaches and players when you do an exercise like that.
They're obviously coming off a heavy loss on their home track. They've had more interruptions this week. What do you expect from them tomorrow night?
I'll expect them to react. I expect them to come out firing. I think I heard Simo say earlier in the week they were going to throw the kitchen sink at us, so that's pretty much what we're expecting. That's what happens when you have a performance that you're not happy with, and one of the good things about going on the road when you've been in that situation, you spend a little bit of time together and you can build that unity and bond and try to work your way through that adversity. And it's not in sport, you see it all the time. The team with its back to the wall can certainly come out and produce a great performance, as they have. They did that against Collingwood a few weeks ago, and even against North Melbourne earlier in the year. I think they only lost that game by 13 points when they had a lot of disruption that week. So history says that they're pretty good with their backs to the wall.
How about people who, like Jack Riewoldt, got in the box and said it's unfair that you guys get to beat up on West Coast and it should be postponed? Do you have a response to that?
I wonder why Jack didn't say that last week before Richmond played him.
Fags, that sounds like something you've drilled into the players, not Jack, but what you were saying before about how good West Coast are and that adversity, bringing them together, because human nature would suggest a game like this, what West Coast are going through, complacency, this should be a tick in the box for us. Is that something you've had to address with your team?
Yeah, I haven't told them. I just said, I've talked to our players about what are the obstacles to us playing at our best tomorrow night, and they certainly identified some of those things. A picture can easily be painted that we're playing a West Coast Eagles team that's full of young blokes that have hardly played any football, but the truth is they'll still run out tomorrow with probably 12 or 13 players that played in their premiership side not so long ago. And so to disrespect them in any way, shape or form would be a big mistake by us.
Skipper was playing more forward last week and on the inside. Is that going to continue?
We'll just reserve the right to play where we think he helps us the most. It suited us to do that last week and it worked out well. This week it might be different again, so that's the value of Zorks, and that's one of the things we're trying to build into our team, to be honest, is that the little bit of flexibility that we probably haven't had in the past. We're probably a fairly predictable lineup, but most teams would know how we're going to front up each week. Hopefully we can change that around a little bit to suit ourselves as the year goes forward.
I was reading that it's about 3 or 4 of their players have COVID and the rest is staff. I guess if you're in that position, would you expect the game to be postponed for 4 cases?
No. I mean, the AFL made it pretty clear at the start of the year. The competition is going ahead come hell or high water, and they've given us all the opportunity to have additional players on our list if that situation occurs. So that's our understanding, and it's unfortunate for West Coast at the moment. They're the hardest hit, but we don't know what's down the track. This could happen to every team at some point in time, which is important, which makes it even more important to bank wins while you're healthy.
Christian, you said before that with the players taking a bit of sort of like ownership this week, is there anyone that sort of like impressed you or like sort of like surprised you by the way they've gone about it?
Oh, not really, because the way we've operated here for the last 5 or 6 years is we've always encouraged player input. I suppose I just did it a little bit more formally this week, so they're all quite confident within the group to speak up and give their opinions, and it wasn't just the guys in our leadership group today that had strong input. It was players of all ages and experiences that made some really good comments around what we need to do in the game.
Anyone come up with any ideas that surprised you? Or not necessarily, you don't have to reveal those ideas, but someone thinking outside the box? No,
not really. It was pretty much as I expected. I mean, I did the exercise and I'd done my own one to see how it would compare, and they were pretty close to mine. So, no, there was nothing unusual there. So unfortunately,
no, I don't do that,
Braden. They were good.